Hello people, how you doing? Obi, Jim Kenobi, I think that's my name, yeah. Here, just going for a little ride on my own this time. You may probably not have seen the video, although you have a lot more subscribers than I do, so you might have done. I went for a little ride out in London with the Grom Monkey. Yes, it's the camera. On Friday, which was pretty cool. Went to have a look at a Honda VFR for myself as a possible replacement for young Geraldine here. It's alright, we're not getting rid of you yet. Yeah, it looked nice, and everything I've read about them, they're pretty good, they'll go on forever, pretty fast, fast enough for me anyway. Well, I sat on it and it was just instantly, nah, just a bit too low down, a bit too towards, they're a sport touring bike and they're a bit more sport than touring than I'd hoped. I prefer a bit more upright like this, which is a shame because I did like it. I'm still debating it in the back of my head, but yeah, just that instant feeling of sitting on it and just thinking, nah, no. I'm also looking into the prospect of you can get bar risers for it, which could sort the issue out. But then it's buying the bike and then spending, I mean, there were a couple £100, the ones I was looking at anyway, and then people having issues with the brake lines, having to get them changed or extended or whatever. And I'm not an expert myself, so I'd have to probably pay to get that done, and it's just, oh. But I do feel a bit like, you know, I'm terrible at making decisions, so I don't know if I've made the right one. As much as I love this bike, it's not going to last forever. It's not suitable for long distance riding, the petrol tank isn't big enough. Although it's running pretty good at the moment, I've had issues with it where it wasn't as properly cared for or serviced as it should have been when it was younger. But hey ho, another one bites the dust. I'm definitely going to keep trying to look out for bikes over the winter. They do seem to be a little bit better priced than what they were a couple of months ago. Probably because I think most showrooms will know that there's a good chance that the bikes will just sit there until next spring, which is when people think, oh, I know, it's a good idea to get a bike again. So I mean, it'll be nice November, it's still nice days like this, nice-ish. And yeah, I'm in a fortunate position, I don't need a bike straight away, so yeah, the big thing in the news since I sort of last kind of done any sort of thing resembling a vlog on Saturday night was obviously the Paris bombings, which is fucking utterly ridiculous. You know, words, you can't really describe how fucking, it's just nothing good about it at all. You know, a lot of things happen in life and you think, oh, why that twat done that? But then, even if you don't agree with it, you can kind of see what they've done in it. But what do these people hope to achieve? All it's going to do is provoke a reaction from the French, and us, the Americans, the Germans, the Australians, are all probably going to join in. If it's anything like, you know, 9/11, we'll join in, bomb the shit out of them, create another 20,000 people that are prepared to come over here and blow themselves up, and so the cycle continues. It's just on and on and on. And you know, on social media now, there's just all the racists trying to stick their heads up. Oh, I told you so. Shouldn't have foreigners over here, all that bullshit. And it's just like never ending. It just goes round and round and round. Well, you know, I'm almost certain, you know, the West, you know, collectively, all of the Western allies countries are going to retaliate in some way. Either step up their bombing in Syria, you know, maybe even go as far as ground troops. Hopefully they've learnt a bit of a lesson from 2001, and that, you know, I really hope it's not going to be an all-out war, because I mean this is directly related to that. If we had, I know, you know, it's a huge subject and I'm not a fucking expert, and even trying to summarise it is quite difficult, but we went to Iraq on the premise of weapons of mass destruction. Did I have any? No. The second reason we went over there is Saddam Hussein was a complete cunt, and he should have been removed. He was, you know, he committed genocide on numerous occasions against minorities within his own country, and I'm of the opinion we shouldn't just let that go. However, we went too far. The fact that, you know, the main reason was all in the news was weapons of mass destruction, and he didn't fucking have any. It's just, and everybody knows, well, probably some people disagree, that it was basically economic reasons to get to, you know, to maintain control on the flow of oil. But we reacted how we did then, and it went on for fucking a decade or more than a decade. And what did it achieve? The whole situation around Syria and Iraq is directly related to that. We're kind of making the same mistakes again. So we removed Saddam Hussein, left the power void. We tried to fill it with some weak-ass civilian government which wasn't able to maintain control. Therefore the insurgents, ISIS, or whatever form they were taking at the time, which has now evolved into ISIS, managed to maintain power, managed to gain power, basically. Syria, 10 years later, or 13 years later, whatever it is, we basically aid the rebels in their fight against Assad, who is a cunt. Let's not make that, he's a brutal, evil wanker. However, similar to Saddam Hussein, a brutal, evil wanker is sometimes in a better position to control terrorist groups in their own country than we are. Basically, if you're a member of ISIS or you know, Al Qaeda or the equivalent terrorist organisation at that time, whatever they call themselves, under Assad or Hussein, and you got caught, you knew you were going to be fucking tortured to shit and killed. There was no two ways about it. And you know, it's just not that I promote that or believe that that's what we should do, but the reality is it's incredibly effective against controlling against controlling terrorism. You know, if I was so inclined, or I had the beliefs of a certain party or religious group, and I knew, however, I knew that by you basically acting on those beliefs would have a higher likelihood that myself and my family would be tortured and or killed, it would make me think twice. I'd have to feel very, very strongly, and it would reduce the numbers of people that go on to join these terrorist groups and commit these acts. There will always be the minority, you know, the ones that are going to blow themselves up. They probably don't really have any fear of anything. But yeah, the basic truth is that Assad and Hussein controlled the groups that would become ISIS. We have got rid of them, or in Assad's case, we've assisted the rebels in fighting him, so completely weakened his position, and now ISIS are there, filling the void of power throughout much of Syria and northern Iraq. Bringing it back to yesterday, how do we combat that? If, you know, we've created the void that's been filled by ISIS, and now they're attacking us. because we were attacking them, I might add, but you know, a lot of people would say, right, we need to go there, actually send troops in like we did in Iraq and actually get rid of them. But we can't get rid of them. They're not an army, you know, not like the Iraq army in tanks and uniforms and, oh, there they are, they're the ones we need to fight. They're a terrorist group, so they're not, so yeah, you know, I had this little rant, I don't actually know what the answer is. I'm erring on the lefty liberal, it's got to be fucking diplomacy, it can't be going in and bombing the shit out of these people. How the fuck does that help? By bombing these countries we kill innocent people. Killing one, you know, we might drop, you know, 10 bombs, kill 100 members of ISIL as they're now called. One single one of those bombs hits a school, we create 10,000 more. We can't win that way. And troops on the ground, again, it's just they can hide in plain sight. You know, we didn't win, we didn't beat up, we didn't defeat the IRA by bombing, or they didn't win by bombing. At the end it was fucking, we're into good old politics. I don't have the answer, but I don't think, you know, stepping up the bombing, sending in ground troops is the answer. It's just really not. It's not like, you know, historic wars, you know, against Germany, where they speak a different language, they wear uniforms, you know, they travel in tanks and military vehicles. But yeah, let me know what you think.